Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. We're on Snowdrop Tundra for day 4. Yeah, day 4. And we have a lot to talk about today, but we're going to get into that a little bit later. We do have some information about the new stuff. But before we can do that, we've got our recovery instance for going to bed on time. We've also got 15,188 sneaky snacking because our wall rain is a beast. And we are going to get a level up to Ultra 1. Didn't quite make it there last night. I was going to try to, but I would have had to collect all of Walreign's berries, and I wasn't even sure that that was going to put it into Ultra 1. So I just said, we'll wait till next time. But I don't know why I'm collecting these candies. That is way out of order for what we normally do. Let's collect our 100 sleep points. That puts us at 2,933. And for our daily lottery, we can pick up another 15 diamonds. Very nice. Very nice indeed. I like the diamonds. All right, now we can jump into this sleep report, see if we get something interesting. If we get the dozing sleep type, we might see that Delibird that we really desperately want to see. I need a good double egg Delibird. At the very least, double eggs. If I could get egg, apple, that'd be all right. But at least, triple eggs would be really good too. Oh, that's not looking good. 14%. Well, 14% dozing might be enough. It is not enough. Snoozing definitely won there. Okay, so that should put us at like what? 500,000 million. That'd be nice. But no, we're gonna get like 21 million. No, a little low. 25 million. I know everybody's like, oh, don't you look at your strength and multiply that by 100? I never look at my strength. I very rarely look at it. So when we get here, I genuinely don't know what my drowsy power is going to be. Just kind of a guess based on my rank. But 25.4 million basically, which is only good for 6 spawns. We're not quite to the 7 yet. Salads, once again, holding me back. Well, that's not looking good. That is not looking good. Rattata, 2 Jigglypuffs, and what else we got? Flaffy. Ooh, actually, Slackoth, that's a good one. 2 Rattata. Okay. So once again, no new sleep styles, but a Slackoth is a good thing. We could try to catch a Slackoth. I'm all right with that. Definitely need a better one. And I think having a good one is actually better than having a good Raticate. Nobody's hungry, but that's okay. Let's see if we can take you home. If we could get a big hit on this Poke Biscuit, that'd be fantastic. No big hit. That's okay. Just don't be full. You did the opposite of what I said. That is the literal opposite of what I said. Thank you. Thank you for that. Well, okay, cool. Way I see it, there's 2 choices. We either send out the Rattata candy or we send out the Rattata candy, because that's going to be the most helpful for everybody. Or we could actually be helpful and send out Slackoth candy. I don't know how rare Slackoth is or how many people are actually using a Slacking or a Vigoroth, but to me it's realistically between Slackoth and Mareep candy, because Ampharos is very good, but I feel like more people, well, you know what, maybe more people are using a Wigglytuff. Let's go with that. Let's just go with the Jigglypuff candy to try to help people with the healer situation. That's probably more helpful more often. But all right. Actually, now that I think about it, most people on my friends list probably aren't using Wigglytuff anymore. But I don't know. That's why we need to figure this out. We got about 3,400 Dream Shards. Not bad at all. 3,500, I mean. That's a pretty good amount for only 6 spawns. 3,500 Dream Shards? Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is just the gift. No new news. Correct. No new news. Just the same old from yesterday. And for our daily gift, we get our 150 extra sleep points. Very good. Very good. And what else are we going to get from our community reports? 38 of them. with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 13 that doubled up. Very nice. Very nice. No level ups. Okay, so let's get into the meat and potatoes real quick, and then we can jump into dessert, which we'll be talking about all the spoilery stuff that we have found out. So I don't know why I clicked on Walrein, but Pincer actually getting a decent amount of honey for Pincer. Ton of tomatoes, like 4 honey. Yeah, I mean, it's extra honey, I guess, but not as much as we need. We really could use that extra 10 honey again. But we did get a skill trigger from Gardevoir, so that's good. That's generally the sign of a good day. All right. Let's see what we can do here. I mean, yeah, calm mind fruit salad. In my head, I'm beginning to wonder if maybe I should just start going for green grass salad instead. Not have a berry gatherer on the team at all. Just run, let's see, Victory Bell, Venusaur, Toxicroak, our new Beware, and then Flareon until it triggers, and then swap Flareon out for Gardevoir. Maybe. I feel like that probably wouldn't pay off in the end, but that's what I was thinking, because these salads got me wanting to do some crazy things that probably aren't actually going to work out. I really, really hope they buff salads soon, because getting salads is just feels like a killer to your entire week from my perspective. It's not fun getting salads. But anyway, all of that is out of the way. We did not complete any new missions, so I don't think we have anything to collect. Nope, we do not. But now we can talk about the fun stuff. Now, you know what's funny? I didn't even switch over because I was on this screen anticipating that we were going to catch something today, and we didn't. But that's okay. We do have a lot to talk about. So here's your spoiler warning. We are going to talk about the new Pokemon and what's going to happen, what their specialties are, and all that fun stuff. So if you don't want to know anything about the Pokemon or the missions that we're going to have for the first anniversary event, then go ahead and check on out now, and we'll see you next time. So later to those dudes that are going to be leaving right now. But for the rest of you that want to find out, let's go ahead and jump into it. So first things first, for our first week mission rewards, it's going to be pretty easy. Nothing really crazy. It kind of looks very similar to the Entei and Raikou event mission rewards. Basic 2, we're going to get a Sprigatito incense. At Ultra 1, we'll get a Fuecoco incense. And at Master 1, we'll get a Quaxly incense. Keep in mind, week 1, the only boosts, the only event stuff is on green grass, so Master 1 should be pretty easy for everyone. Very few people are going to have any trouble getting to Master 1. We give out 15 biscuits, we get 10,000 dream shards, which is actually pretty good. Using 7 incense, we get 5 small handy candies, also very good. So make sure to stock up your incenses. This is exactly why we save them, and don't really use them all that often for whenever we have events like this, or missions like this, I should say. And then go to bed 3 times on time for 5 Poke Biscuits. So very easy reward missions. The rewards are pretty good. Guaranteed 1 of each of the new starters for everybody. No worries there. We should all be able to catch at least 1. Hopefully that's all we need. And maybe somebody will get lucky and get a shiny. So yeah, not too bad. The mission rewards for the first week, or the mission objectives for the first week, not bad. Pretty easy. Week 2 looks like pretty much the same, but instead of the incense, we get candies. So basic 2, we get 25 Sprigatito candy, Ultra 1, Fuecoco candy, Master 1, Quaxly candy. Now week 2, we can go wherever we want. So I would recommend going somewhere that you think you can hit Master 1. I think Lapis would probably be, Lapis and Snowdrop would be the place where some people might have trouble getting to Master 1. But actually, now that I think about it, none of the new Pokemon spawn on Snowdrop, so we can probably count that one out. But if you are going to go to Lapis, just do be aware that you will need to get to Master 1 if you want the Quaxly candy. If you're not worried about the Quaxly candy, then don't worry about it. Then if we use 100 candies, we get a friend instance. I would highly recommend completing that mission. I feel like everybody will anyway. But if you're thinking about skipping it, don't skip it, especially as a free player. Friend instance doesn't come along all that often, so getting one for free is a very good thing. Go to bed on time 3 times again for 5 more Poke Biscuits, and cook 12 times. Should be pretty easy for another 10,000 Dream Shards. So, mission objectives on week 1 and 2, not hard. Everybody should be able to complete them all pretty easily. The rewards are pretty okay. The friend instance, probably one of the more interesting rewards. Yeah, the new starter instance is pretty interesting too. That's good stuff, but kind of expected, to be honest. But out of everything else that's not the starter instance, the friend instance is probably the most interesting thing, in my opinion. Just because, like I said, as a free player, you don't see them too often, so it's nice to get a free one. But those out of the way, let's jump into the new Pokemon. We are going to look at their final evolved forms for a very particular reason, and that's because these evolved starters are going to be doing something very different. So there was a lot of theory, speculation, and whatever else you want to call it in the comments of yesterday's video talking about why, because I made mention of like, oh, that's kind of weird, the Skeledirge is going to be on dozing. Maybe that's a mistake. Nope. Come to find out, everybody's speculation was correct, because everybody is far more well informed than I am. So let's jump into it with first things first, Meowscarada. So Meowscarada is, as you can see right here, a dark type. So when it evolves into Meowscarada from, I forget the pre-evolved name, will you tell me? Nope, you just say Pokemon 907. I forget the pre-evolved form's name, but when it evolves into Meowscarada, it turns into a dark type, which means it brings in dark type berries. However, the interesting thing is, it is an ingredient specialist. Interesting. But not only is it an ingredient specialist, it's got cooking power up. So Meowscarada can expand your pot, your maximum pot inventory. Very surprising for a starter. Very, very surprising, but very good for a Pokemon that gathers ingredients. That said, however, we don't know what the ingredients are gonna be yet. If the ingredients are something that is highly desirable, then mixed with cooking power up, Meowscarada could be a very, very meta-relevant Pokemon, depending on what ingredients it gets. If it gets some random ingredients like apples and soybeans and what else doesn't go with those, I don't know. I was gonna say tails because that doesn't go with them, but tails would be pretty interesting actually. Yeah. If it gets soybeans, apples, and something else that just doesn't synergize with anything, then it won't be that helpful. But if it does get a really beneficial set of ingredients like corn and, I don't know, corn. I think corn on its own would probably be really good. If we get corn at level 1 and 30 and cooking power up, Meowscarada is going to be super good if its ingredient collection rate is high. Keep in mind, these aren't for sure, but around, I think this is what it typically shows when it's unsettled. I don't think it's actually 20% and 2% or anywhere close to that. Now that we've looked at these a few times, it seems like this is just the standard, hey, we haven't figured it out yet, so we're just gonna plug these numbers in until we do. So I wouldn't pay any attention to the 20% and 2% for the ingredient and skill trigger rate respectively. I mean, it's usually pretty close, but it could vary. For the ingredient rate especially, I think can vary up to like 10% maybe. I think the highest ingredient rate is like 30%, if I remember correctly. But the skill trigger rate, usually pretty accurate. I think the highest skill trigger rate is like 7% with Umbreon, I believe. So this could go up to 7%, but realistically probably closer to like 3 or 4. 4 would be very, very much pushing it. Probably closer to 3, but again, that's just me throwing out numbers. Don't take that as written in stone, because it's definitely not. But if we do get a good ingredient rate with Meowscarada and good ingredients, the cooking power up skill is going to be very good, especially if the skill trigger rate is pretty high. It is going to be very interesting to see what these actually turn out to be once we actually get the Pokemon in the game. But do be aware that Meowscarada has the potential to change things up pretty substantially. And the base frequency at 43 minutes, it's a little slow, but not bad. It's kind of middle of the road, so that's pretty good. All the rest, the base inventory is 18. It's going to take 20 hearts to catch a Meowscarada. Don't do that though. Catch a Sprigatito, evolve it to a Meowscarada. You get 2 free levels on your cooking power, so that's going to be definitely the way to go for this Pokemon. Other than that, we do know that it is going to spawn a green grass and lapis. We did know that before, but now we have the drowsy power and the rank requirements for it. Well, mostly. So on green grass, it's going to, for the 1-star sleep, you're going to need Master 7 and 27,132,000 drowsy power. And for the 2-star, you're going to need Master 11 with 52,706,000 drowsy power to get it to spawn. The top belly sleep, Master 12, drowsy power to be determined. On Lapis Lake side, we have the 1-star. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let's not even get into this. Let's do a thing. We're gonna go ahead and we're going to go back over here. We're gonna look at Sprigatito. That's the one we actually care about, where it spawns and at what point. Because we're not catching a Meowscarada. I just said don't catch a Meowscarada, catch a Sprigatito. Why are we going through the Meowscarada stuff? Sprigatito, green grass, the 1-star sleep, great one, 950,000 drowsy power, far easier to find. 2-star sleep, great 5, 11,780,000, and the top belly sleep, ultra 1, 38,304,000 drowsy power. So should be pretty easy to find. We do have pseudo balance sleep during the event, so shouldn't be too hard to find a couple extras. Great 1 is pretty low, especially on green grass, so I feel like we're gonna find it pretty easily. However, Lapis Lakeside, the rank requirements are significantly lower. You can get a Sprigatito at basic 1, so you don't even have to really do much. Just get 950,000 drowsy power, and you could probably find one fairly easily. With the 2-star, it's basic 4, at 3-star, great 5, and 4-star, ultra 1. Keep in mind the drowsy power requirements are always the same, regardless of the island. The amount is the same, it's just the ranks that change. So, for the 3-star sleep, great 5 with 33,478,000 drowsy power. That one's different because 3-star is not on green grass. Cool. Now, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and back it up, and we can move on to my boy Skeledirge. So, Skeledirge, and this is what I like about these starters. They're doing something different, and that's good because then we don't know really what to expect from the starters moving forward. I like that these 3 starters, since they all 3 have secondary typing, spoiler alert, they're all changing their typing when they evolve. So I like that. That's really good. And I like that they all have different main skills. Skeledirge has charge energy, so it can restore its own energy, which could be very good. Could not be. I don't know. I feel like I'd kind of prefer Skeledirge to be a berry specialist in this case. A ghost berry specialist that can restore its own energy would be very powerful, but I'm kind of being greedy at that point because Skeledirge is my favorite of the 3 starters, so I'm kind of being greedy. Want my boy to be really strong, you know? But again, ingredient and skill trigger rates not settled, not sure what they are yet. We won't know until we get access to them in the game. Same with the ingredients. It is still an ingredient specialist. It says dozing for Skeledirge, but Fuecoco will be snoozing type, so should be a lot easier to find in that regard. This one will be pretty interesting. I don't think it's going to be as... it's not as potentially meta-changing as Meowscarada, which, like I said, as a Skeledirge fan, kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. The important part is how easy is it going to be to find a Fuecoco, and let's see, we can figure that out right about now. So Fuecoco will spawn on Greengrass, Cyan Beach, and Topalo. And again, the drowsy power requirements are the same across all the islands, so I'm only going to read them once for each individual sleep style. But on green grass, you can find Fuecoco starting at Grade 1 with 950,000 drowsy power, Grade 5, 11,780,000 drowsy power, and at Ultra 1, you can get the Top Belly for 38,304,000 drowsy power. On Cyan Beach, the 1-star is at Basic 3, the 2-star is at Great 2, the 3-star is at Ultra 3 with 33,478,000 drowsy power, and the Top Belly is going to be at Ultra 1, so that's actually pretty low for all 4 sleep styles for Fuecoco. On Cyan Beach, Ultra 1 is pretty easy to hit for most people, unless you're just starting out, but should be pretty doable. Taupe Hollow will be a little bit easier. The ranks are a little more forgiving there in terms of what you need to get the first one to spawn, but Basic 2 and Basic 3, not really a huge difference. But feel like we'd need to look at the spawn pools. The spawn pool may be more favorable on Taupe Hollow over Cyan Beach, but I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to go back and double check those, but just be aware of that and maybe look into it if you're trying to figure out where to go specifically for Fuecoco. But we can get it at Taupe Hollow for the 1-star sleep at Basic 2, the 2-star at Grade 1, the 3-star at Ultra 2, and the Top Belly at Ultra 1. So good stuff there. We can find Fuecoco fairly easily. Again, I wish that it was more potentially impactful, like Meowscarada is looking like it's going to be. But unfortunately, it just is what it is. So far, Meowscarada looking like the one that we may all want to catch, but we'll catch them all just for the collection, right? But let's go ahead and move on to Quaxly. Quaxly will change to a fighting type when it evolves all the way into Quaxly, and it has Charge Strength M, which is actually very interesting. There are only a few Pokemon in the game that have Charge Strength M. Let's see. Yep. So fully evolved Ampharos, Sudowoodo, Espeon, and now Quaxly when it comes out. Charge Strength M is actually very good if you have the room to spare to put a Charge Strength M Pokemon on your team, but I feel like most of the meta is not really revolving around Charge Strength M anymore. So Quaxly could be really interesting if it has a very high skill trigger rate. That could make it more relevant, but for me personally, it kind of is just sitting in the same boat as Skeledirge, where it's like, yeah, the ability is, or the main skill is interesting, but not as potentially game-changing as Meowscarada. Meowscarada could do a lot of work depending on the ingredients that it gets and how high its skill trigger rate is. If its skill trigger rate for Meowscarada is high enough for you to get 1 for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, then that could be a huge game changer. But as far as Quaxly goes, it's a question of how often would it have to trigger per day to balance out having another berry specialist on the team, unless it has a good ingredient spread. That's the thing that could change Quaxly, in my opinion, to being almost as good, potentially almost as good as Meowscarada. Let's go ahead and make sure we're saying potentially, because we don't know what it's going to turn out to be. We don't know what the ingredient spread's going to be. If Quaxly gets some good meta relevant ingredients, having that Charge Strength M is just that nice little bonus. Could be exactly what you want, especially if Meowscarada ends up getting a bad ingredient spread and Quaxly has a desirable one, then you're probably better off having Quaxly on the team to get the ingredients you want and that extra buff from Charge Strength, versus having a Pokemon on the team just for the pod expansion, but the ingredient spread isn't really something you need. So Quaxly, actually, now that I'm thinking about it and talking it through, Quaxly is probably the second most potentially interesting, in my opinion. Skeledirge, being able to restore your own energy is very nice, but I think that's just like, it's probably not as good as Charge Strength M, in my opinion, but maybe I'm wrong. I could be thinking about this the wrong way. Skeledirge, unfortunately, is probably the least interesting of the 3 at the moment for me, but only just barely. I think Quaxly just barely squeaks in, and only because of Charge Strength M, because at level 6, it is very good. Level 3, which you're going to get if you catch a Quaxly, 1700 extra strength, and that's before the area bonus. But at level, oh yeah, that's right, it goes to level 7 now. 6400 extra strength. I think on Lapis, when I was using Espeon, I was getting like 4 grand every time it procced, if I remember correctly, something like that. I was getting a good amount, and it's not even at max level. So at max level, this does really well. Even if you get a skill level up M, 3300 essentially, plus your area bonus. If you get it several times a day, that's potentially 20-30,000 extra that you're getting at level 5. So Quaxly has the potential to be very, very interesting depending on the ingredient spread. And honestly, I guess that's kind of the whole thing here. All of them really depend on the ingredient spread, since they are all ingredient specialists. But Charge Energy is just kind of probably the least interesting of the main skills out of these 3. Even though it is very good, don't take me wrong. It sounds like I'm underselling Charge Energy, and I'm really not trying to, but out of these 3 in particular, I feel like this is the least interesting one because a lot of people are running healers now, so it's not as necessary, whereas the others could be more beneficial. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking about them. Kind of what I'm thinking. But before we get carried away, let's go ahead and look at Quaxly and see where we can find Quaxly. So Quaxly can be found at Greengrass, Cyan Beach, and Lapis Lakeside. For Greengrass Isle, 1 star is at Grade 1 with 950,000 drowsy power. 2 star is at Grade 5 with 11,780,000 drowsy power. And the Atop Belly is at Ultra 1 with 38,304,000. I believe those are all the exact same numbers, so all of the starters have the exact same drowsy power requirement. I don't remember if the ranks are the same, but I'm pretty sure those drowsy power requirements are. Cyan Beach, the 1 star is at Basic 3, the 2 star is at Grade 2, the 3 star is at Ultra 3 with 33,478,000 drowsy power. The 4 star Atop Belly is at Ultra 1. And at Lapis Lakeside, the 1 star, Basic 1. I believe Sprigatito was also Basic 1 at Lapis, and I think Fuecoco was Basic 1 at Topalo. I don't know. We've talked about a lot. I may be misremembering. If I was wrong, pay attention to earlier me. Lapis Lakeside, the 2 stars at Basic 4, 3 star at Grade 5, and the 4 star at Ultra 1. So that is pretty much everything we know so far about the new Pokemon. So with all of that new information, let me know in the comments below which of these 3 you think is going to make the biggest difference, not only on your team, but on the game as a whole. For my money, I think Meowscarada has the chance to really shake things up quite a bit. Like I was saying earlier, if it has the right ingredient spread with cooking power up and a decent skill trigger rate, it could potentially be the one that everybody is going to be looking for. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below about all this information. Let me know what your plans are, and if you are going to use Skeledirge, Quaxly, Meowscarada on your team. Also, let me know if you're disappointed by any of these. If one of these is your favorite of the 3 starters, which everybody has their favorite, which of these is your favorite of the 3 starters, and if you are happy or not happy with how it's shaping up. But that is everything that we have access to at the moment. So thank you for watching this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you do enjoy these videos. And if you want to take your support a little bit further, there is also a join button right below this video to become a member of the channel and Ace Trainer. And with that, you get some exclusive perks like exclusive emojis that you can use on the channel and early access to the videos and a lot more. But clicking that join button will give you all the information that you need to make that decision. And while you're down there in the description, go ahead and join us in the Discord. All of this information was pointed out to me by Total Anime Fan in the Discord, so thank you for bringing that to my attention. That said, y'all have a good night, and until next time, later, dudes.